As we go through the day, do you feel sometimes that you're caught up in the rat race? You know there's so much to do and you feel overwhelmed about what's the next step? I tell you that it happens to many of us. And the question is, how can we actually learn from that and grow so that we can have a more positive outcome on what's happening to us? Welcome to my channel. My name is Alain Faber, and on this channel I share with you information on how learning and learning new skills allows you to create a better world for yourself and people around us. So stay with us. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and let's see what we're learning today. You know, when we are all feeling stressed and there's so much to do, and then someone comes to us and says, you know what, I have what you need to make it better. The problem is that our brain is so full of all the other things we have to do that it's very hard to stop and actually think, reflect, and how to make life better for ourselves. So the question is, where's the silver lining in trying to be better? Well, that's a good question. So if you look back for me for the last couple of months, the end of the summer, we started school, there was COVID, then again we have 2 courses. Someone said, okay, 2 courses sounds easy. On the other hand, there was a new course, and from there I was teaching 5 hours a day. From there, no time to plan, no time to mark. My family was there, needed me, and you know what? I had other commitments, Toastmaster, and do you realize what I just did? Can you see it? I got caught up in the rat race again. And you know what? Personal growth comes from doing hard things. If everything was easy, we would be comfortable and there would be no reason for us to change. Now, in the last few months, lots of things happen, and let's see what I can share with you to make life a little bit better for you. Now, when you are feeling overwhelmed, when you feel that you're in a rat race, often the best thing is to write down what's going on. So if you talk to a therapist or a psychiatrist, often they will say, well, use a journal. Write down how you feel that day. And if you do it every day, you might start seeing some patterns. And those patterns, if you look at them, you say, okay, those days I felt like that. This happened, that was the consequence. And if you do it for a few days, a few weeks, a few months, and you look over what happened, you'll start realizing that sometimes similar thoughts are there. And they're repeated situations with repeated consequences and repeated behaviors. Okay, so if that's the case, is there a way for us to make things better? I do believe so. Alors, so when you are with your journal, always look into, what did I do? And you can actually appreciate the successes you've got. Because once you start appreciating some of the success you had, you're going to start feeling some gratitude. And you know what? Feeling gratitude is probably the first step for you to sit, reflect on your thoughts, and say, okay, I've learned something and I'm grateful for my current situation, grateful for my family, grateful for the learning. And you know what? When you start feeling grateful, what happens is you start accepting some of the situations that are around you. You start accepting challenges that are coming your way. And at the same time, it allows you to grow. It allows you to grow because you start seeing beyond who you are and your own little self and your own little space. And you start believing that you can help others. And once you start helping others, and it's like the gift of service, serving others to be better, you realize that it will energize you. Now, I'm not saying that you have to do so much for others that you forget who you are, forget about your health, your family, and so on. I'm just saying that sometimes when we feel overwhelmed, it's because we're internalizing what we're feeling. And once you acknowledge that you have those feelings, feel gratitude, realize that you've had successes and that growth happens, and you can help others grow. And you know what? I think that's something that you can go through, and that's what a coach can do for you. A coach doesn't want to add more things to what you're doing. A coach will look at what you're doing, see if there are any repeated behaviors, and from there try to see if they can maximize what you're doing to avoid behaviors that are negative to you. Okay, so let's see what we can do to make your life better. So I have some tips for you on how to feel better and be able to grow as a person when you do hard things. The first one is to create a journal where you can write down what you're doing and how you feel and what your thoughts are. That will create a situation where you're creating an output of your thoughts on paper, and it has a healing power where somehow it gets out of your head and it's on paper, and you can be a little bit more objective from what is there. And what is there, I want you to, as a second part, see if you can look at patterns that you have, acknowledge gratitude about successes that you've done, and you'll see positive emotions will start happening. And that will be the first step on finding ways to get out of the rat race. Because once you have some positive emotions coming out of your life, coming out of what you feel like a rat race, you'll start to see that with time, stress will decrease, and then you will increase your resilience from what's happening with you. If you think of a billionaire with 5 businesses, they're very busy. Are they managing stress? They have learned through experiences, through accepting his thoughts or her thoughts, that they can bring situation to have positive emotions, and then which decreases stress and increases resilience. And that's the big difference between someone who's looking at small scale, and someone who wants to do 10-fold or 100-fold or 1,000-fold. Everybody is stressed. Everybody have their own issues. The question is, when you face them, can you find ways to decrease the stress and the response you have so that you can increase your resilience, so that you can attack and fight on new ground, new challenges, so that you can grow. Hopefully you have enjoyed the message tonight. If you did, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. You notice I try to bring new ideas on how you can improve by learning. You can make the world a better place. So to conclude, you need to realize that if you want to grow, you need to do hard things. Because only when you do hard things will you feel uncomfortable. You'll have to go beyond who you are, your comfortable zone, and then you'll be able to learn new things about you. Learning new things about you will help you learn new things about the world, and at the same time, hoping that you'll make the world a better place. On this, I'm going to put here or here a link to another video where you'll see that there's always something to learn so that you can make the world a better place. See you in the next video.